our concentration is going to be on the cape. So how to attach your cape together with your sutana. So I will open up my cape and I will indicate the front and the back as well. You don't need to pick a dart on your cape, so there's no need of picking darts on the cape. Now the next step is to arrange the cape on the sutana. Please, this part is very important, because the beauty of this is for you to make it once and get it at once. If you are ripping off your fabrics, this make it getting rough and it will not look nice at all. So the first thing you need to consider before placing this is that the cape is going to the right side. The cape is not going to the wrong side. So with this little guide, you will know how to position your cape on the bodice. Then if you know you can get confused, place your cape on your sutana and make a flip. So when you turn it to the right side, what do you have? Now look at mine. So now I have my sutana showing on the right side and I have my cape showing on the right side as well. So how do I achieve this? Now let me show you the secrets behind the positioning. This is the wrong side of my cape and this is the wrong side of my sutana. This is the right side of my cape and this is the right side of my sutana. Okay, in a case whereby you are making use of a fabric that has no wrong or right side, so which means both sides are the same. There are some fabrics like that, no wrong side, no right side. In this case, you will have to choose one side to be the right side and one side to be the wrong side, just like what I placed on my sutana. So I labeled this as the back and I labeled this as the front. So you have to choose one side for the front and other side for the back, so this will not get you confused. And on the cape as well, you have to do the same thing. So this is going to be the right. Okay, this is you don't need to mark the right side of your fabrics, so just place a chalk on the wrong side. So once you see the chalk, you will know that okay, this is the wrong side of my fabrics. So now this is the secret of the alignment. The right side of the cape facing the wrong side of the sutana is as simple as that. So this is the right side of my cape and this is the wrong side of my sutana. So I will place this on each other like so. So by the time you place the two, you will be seeing the wrong side of your cape. The wrong side of your cape will be facing you like this. Then the first thing to do is to pin all the notch points together. So that is why it is very important you place notches on those points. So this will help you to have a perfect shape for your neckline. The beauty of a 4-corner neckline, that is the Prophetess Sutana, is for you to get the shape perfectly, correctly. Okay, I've seen in some cases whereby after constructing a square neckline, it comes out like an oval shape. So there's something wrong somewhere when constructing the neckline. So that is the cause. But if you want to have a perfect square neckline for your Prophetess Sutana, okay, you have to follow all these steps diligently. The first step is to pin all the notch points together. After notching all those points, you pin them together. So this is the shoulder line and this is the neckline. Notch points on the notched points. So after pinning all the notched points together, the next step is to pin all the angles together. So on this sutana, I have 4 angles. So this is the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. 2 for the back neckline and 2 for the front neckline. I will make sure the angular point I have on my sutana align together with the one I have on my cape, and I will pin the 2 together. Okay, so after pinning the angular points together, then I can proceed in pinning the remaining part of my necklines together. I'm holding the cape and the sutana together. So guys, now I have all the necklines pinned together, and the next secret I will be sharing with you is to mark out your seam allowance. This is very, very important. When you are constructing a square neckline, you must mark out your seam allowance, and I will start marking from the angular points. On each angular point, I will draw out a straight line. So I will stretch this part outward, this part. So that is the 4 angular points I showed you. After extending all the angular points outward, as you can see, then I will mark out my seam allowance of 1/2 inch. So I will mark 1/2 inch on each angular point. These 4 points are what will bring out the shape of your neckline. Now I will go to the shoulder line, which is the notch point. Then I will insert 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Okay, so I have my seam allowance marked here. I have it marked here. I have it marked on both shoulder line and on this point. So the next step is to connect my seam allowances together. So I will pick my ruler like so. Then I will connect these 2 points together. Okay, then from this point to this point, you can see I have this connected. Then from here to here, I will connect as well. Then from this point to this point, which is connection from the shoulder line to the back neckline, I will connect the 2 points together as well. Okay, but in this case the position is going to be a little bit different. So I will make sure I have up to 1/2 inch on this part. The first connection I made, I confirmed what I have here at the center is 1/2 inch. You can see I have all of them as 1/2 inch, and this part as well I have 1/2 inch. So in this case I must have up to 1/2 inch as well, so you can mark out the remaining parts of your neckline. So guys, now I have all my seam allowances marked all around the neckline. So I've connected all the angular points together. So now let me share this with you. Is a secret. So this might be giving you issue when connecting the points together. So this is what you need to do. If you want to connect from the shoulder point to this angular point like this, can you see what I have? So if you mark out your seam allowance here, you will notice the connection will not, the dotted lines will not meet properly. So what I have here now is not up to 1/2 inch. So in this case, all you need to do is to make sure the seam allowance you marked out around here connect properly. So at this point you will ignore the 1/2 inch you marked out here. Okay, you are still coming back to this, but you will just ignore it for now. So make sure the dotted lines connect to the seam allowance you have on the shoulder line. Okay, so you will just follow the direction of your ruler and you draw out your seam allowance line. So as you can see, this is where it came, and what I have from here to here is my real seam allowance. So in this case, what I will be doing is just to extend this line. The seam allowance I've marked here, I will just extend it outward to meet what I have here. So now when I'm ready to sew, so I will be sewing like so. So my sewing will not come to this point, it will be on this point. You can see I've extended this half of an inch, I've extended it outward to meet the half of an inch I have here. All these lines must meet properly. So you might have this issue when connecting one or two angle points together. On this side as well, I repeated the same process. So when I'm placing this together with this, it does not connect with the half of an inch I marked out on this part. So I will just place it like so and follow the direction of my ruler, but I will make sure my seam allowance points connect properly. So I will just draw it out like this. Then with the seam allowance I've drawn out here, I will just extend it to get to the new line I just drew. So it is just as simple as that. But make sure you have up to half of an inch of seam allowance all around your neckline. So the next step is to take this to my sewing machine and I will be stitching on the lines. So guys, now I have the neckline stitched all around. So the next step is to place notches on the 4 angles. So I will open this up like so. Make sure you do not get to your seam points. Now I have my notches placed on the 4 points. So the next step is to open this up and apply a top stitch. So after top stitching, I will take this to my ironing board and give it a good press, just the way you construct your Prophetess Sutana. So guys, now I have this top stitch, after which I gave it a very good press. So the next step is to apply a top stitch. So this is going to be on the right side of my sutana. So I will open up my sutana like so. Now I will be marking 2 inches all around my neckline. If you want it wider, you can make it 2.5 inches or 3 inches, but the maximum you can use is 3 inches. So now I have my 2 inches marked all around the neckline. As you can see, this is the shape I will be having after stitching. So just the way I drew it out. So I will take this to my sewing machine and I will be stitching exactly on the lines. So guys, now I have the neckline top stitched, as you can see. So what I have all around the neckline is 2 inches. Okay, so one is going to be for the front and the other side for the back. So the only thing I have left to do on my cape is to hem the edges all around. Okay, so don't forget I told you must add an hem allowance of 1.5 inches. So that is what you'll be using in hemming the edges. So I'll just fold this inward like so, just the way you hem your normal dress. Then I'll hem the edges all around, then apply an hair stitch. So guys, this is how far we can go on this video. Thanks for staying with me to the end of this tutorial, and make sure you try yours and share your experience with me at the comment section. Thank you once again, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.